And the constable says, "Well, yeah, we kind of thought it's maybe something along the lines of, I don't know, remember Jack the Ripper from a few years ago, maybe something along those lines, who is targeting more or less well-to-do gentlemen. So we're on the, we have a few night patrols that are going out trying to find it."
The thing that did this was more animalistic.
So, have you ever seen one of Jack's victims?
Well,
They got more bloodiest time going on. Really bad.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So who knows? It may be a continuation of him.
Yeah, but now he's changed the gender of his victims.
mm-hmm.
Shall we head to the graveyard?
Well, I mean, it wasn't too late in the evening. Maybe some of the, has the constables, I would imagine, try to get any witnesses or anything of the businesses that are around, if they lived around here?
We checked around in this area, but I know with the LaPont case, we didn't get much of a chance to ask anybody because they kind of steered clear of the area for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
People are freaked out. I mean, the first one was weird. The second one's a coincidence. The third one, so
Throughout all of them, were there any noises heard?
I don't know about with Hugh's case, but it'd be worth where LaPont was killed was a little bit of a more populated area. You might be able to get some more information from someone over there.
Right.
Well, I'll head towards LaPont.
Sounds like a good point. Since
Do you guys want to split between the graveyard and the pond? Like, to go that way?
I'm not so sure that'd be a good idea. since
I'm totally okay with splitting the party prior to 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Yes.
We're still midday. That's
You said it was just afternoon. It's probably
Yeah, it's probably
1 o'clock now.
1
Yeah.
o'clock, 2 o'clock, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So we'd cover more ground. So what did you guys want to do?
I want to go to LaPont.
Okay. I would suggest, because I don't think our skills lie in investigation. You don't have investigation
I do
either.
not have investigation at all. No.
And both of you guys do have. Right?
I have a 4.
You have a 4?
I just rolled
I have
high.
a 6.
You have a 4, so
I'm-
maybe we should pair off, and then you guys, that way we kind of balance
Yeah.
our skill pool, if you will.
All right.
Yeah, understandable. All right, so the closest one would be the site of LaPont's attack.
Right.
So I believe it's the two of you who are going to LaPont. You two are going to LaPont. Okay.
Joy.
So this, as I said, this alleyway is a little bit more
Populated.
populated in this area.
Any reason for that, or?
It's just closer to the center of the market area. Really, it's appears to be right off of the street Edgeware.
And how far is this away from LaPont's jewelry store?
About a block or two. This was clearly
Not too far.
a cut through in between his shop, and his home.
How tall are these buildings?
2-story.
2 stories?
Yeah.
And are they close together?
Relatively, yes. They are quite close. The biggest gaps are the alleyways or the main roads.
Mm-hmm. And I don't suppose there's any trace at all that the crime happened at all.
No, this has been walked through for a few days, and by now,
Is there any ladders or anything like that to take us to the roof?
no. You don't see
On
anything
any of
like
these
that now.
buildings?
There's no fire escapes or anything like that now. Right on the other side, you come in from one side of the alleyway. On the opposite end, there's a person who's a shop sitting essentially right there on the corner of that alley where he was killed.
I'm gonna go
Boy,
talk to the shop owner.
All right.
Boy, I don't suppose you would happen to know a bloke by the name of LaPont, would you?
It's a woman. She says, "Well, was that the man who was killed the other night?"
Unfortunately, yes.
Says, "I saw him walk into that alleyway, and I knew there was something weird when I heard him him yell. And then I heard some kind of just this weird howling, just sound, and I ran. I couldn't. I didn't want to see him.
Howling like a dog.
Some kind of animal. Just the strangest sound. It scared the daylights out of me. I went running. I left everything sitting here and just ran.
And he was walking into the alley from his shop, correct?
That's what I was told. Yes. I'd never seen him take this alley.
He never took this alley before.
Yeah, actually, somebody had called his name, if I remember correctly.
Down into the alley.
Yeah, and then he went down there, and
See
then
that.
afterwards I heard the yelling, and
Right. Okay then. And I don't suppose you've known LaPont to go to any other locations aside.
I personally don't know him.
Oh. Would you happen to know people who would?
I imagine maybe neighbors or something.
Local shopkeepers
Where-
nearby?
Where's where is his
A
shop?
block
from here?
away from here.
Just I usually see him come from, and she points at a street just up the way. Come from that way, and he usually goes that way. I've never interacted with him or anything, but for some reason, he was.
How long do you think this attack went on for?
I have no idea. As soon as I heard that unholy noise, I ran.
So 8 to 10 seconds.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
And I don't suppose the names Hughes or Nelson ring any bells, do they?
Not for me, no. I've heard rumors of that they were men who ended up just like the LaPont.
That is true.
What do you know of the class of his jewelry?
I have no idea. I barely make enough to make a living, let alone buy fancy French jewelry.
And what is the woman selling exactly?
She sells mussels.
Well, there's a good reason why you don't make a whole lot of money.
Hey, gotta make your money somehow.
It's a living.
And how much for muscle?
You can buy a bushel for 10 cents. Individuals will be 1 shilling.
Well, I'm gonna start heading towards his shop.
All right.
All right.
Good day, ma'am.
Good day.
Thank you. Good luck as you walk away.
I flicker 10 cents to say thank you for your time.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Be sure to subtract that from your dollar that you have there, sir.
I have all of 90 cents.
Hey, back then, it's pretty good money.
So,
All right, so
we're-
we'll jump to you guys making it to the
Graveyard.
graveyard.
okay.
You're back at the church again. Of course, the yard of the church. You see a separate entryway that likely leads back down to the cellar. It's a bit wider. It appears to be where they bring the corpses through. That way, they're not brought through the middle of the church.
Are there any graves still open or anything?
You see one freshly dug grave with a stone that has Frank Hughes' name on it.
Okay.
His buddy could be in the.
We
Could still be in the cellar.
And you never know. Sometimes the killer just likes to take a look and see family reactions, if any. This guy didn't have family, but sometimes killers just like
Try to
have
relive.
try to relive their happiest moment for them through the reactions of people who attend the funerals and stuff like that. So
Or going back to the scene of the crime. but-
that too, or where they're going to be buried. But okay.
Yes, it appears to be freshly dug, like he's likely being prepared now for burial.
So, wait, if the Undertaker is dead, then who took care
Well,
of
they
this?
would definitely have a grave digger too. The Undertaker
Okay.
collects the body. The grave digger. Do we see a grave digger?
Not currently, no.
Okay.
No, we don't see anyone in the cemetery here.
Oh, joy.
The cellar, is it locked?
No, you turn the latch and it opens up.
All right. I would like to look for the body if it's still in here.
All right. You go walking back into the area, and you hear two people having a conversation inside this morgue. Appears to be the pastor who you'd spoken to earlier, and another gentleman. You kind of, as you're walking down, you just hear, "It's a shame, really. He was a good man." Yeah, but it appears to be some kind of, from what those men were saying earlier, some kind of beast or something that's targeting these men. It's a shame. Now I'm gonna have to work double. And this is when you guys enter the room. You're back. Did you need some more information?
Perhaps. Has Nelson and Lupant, were they buried in this graveyard too?
Yes, actually, they both him and Buck Nelson's bodies were buried here.
Okay, if you could just give me an indication of where those graves are too, because I just want to just take a look, see if there was any follow-up activity, if you will.
Oh, of course. Lupont's was over on the western side of the cemetery, and Nelson's was, of course, to the north in the nicer area, I suppose. As his family had requested. Says, I could show you if you'd like.
Yeah. One other thing, was Nelson buried with any jewelry?
From what I understand, he had some things on him, mostly family heirlooms. But that's from what I know. Or
okay, I was just. Did you happen to see like a certain style of the jewelry or anything?
No, it appeared to be just. I didn't really look at it very.
Okay. All right.
Please, follow me. He leads you over to first Lupont's grave. It's relatively nice stone as compared to the one for Port Hughes. There's a lot of flowers. It appears that he had quite a number of people who rather liked him. This is Lupont's grave.
Okay, so it doesn't really look like it's been disturbed. Just maybe some grass started growing. It's still pretty fresh. It's only a few days old, so but it's. What is the? Can we derive like a certain interval of time between the burials or the attacks, where it was like maybe it was like 5 days in between or a week in between?
From what it seems is that between Buckminster and Charles's attacks, it was night after night, and then Frank Hughes was 2 days after Lupont's. So it was there was a small gap of about one night in between.
That's quite interesting.
And as I said, all of them were rather portly men, balding, so on and so forth.
Were you here during the burial?
I was asleep in my chambers. Yes. Or sorry, during the burial. My apologies. I thought you meant the attack. Yes, I was here. I of course did the sermon.
Were there any out of place characters while the burial was happening?
No. Everyone seemed to be they seem to all really know each other and things, maybe neighbors, family, and friends. But no, Mr. Lupont's burial was very normal.
Okay. Go to the next grave, maybe?
Yeah. And he leads you up, and as you're starting to get close to that area, you can see that, again, they're quite nice headstones and such. You start to hear a woman crying as you begin to approach this area, and as you come around, you can see there's a woman sitting in front of a headstone crying. Appears to have been freshly buried. He says, "Well, he like stops you. It's like, well, that's his gravestone, but his wife has been here for every day since. If you'd like, there it is, but I do not wish to disturb her and allow the woman to grieve.
Have they been the only ones visiting?
I don't keep track really, but I believe so. I haven't seen anyone else that was out of the ordinary.
Is there anybody who knows who's been visiting? Is there any lists or anything?
No, we don't keep logs here. People
Okay.
are free to come in and leave as they wish.
We can wait until she's done grieving.
Very well. So we'll jump back to you two.
So we're heading back to
You're heading up to LaPonte's
street.
Street. Yes. As you're headed up that way, go ahead and give me a notice roll.
Good thing I got noticed to a degree. So D6 plus D4. 2.
Roll an 11.
Rolled an 11.
never
Very
mind.
nice. So you start to make your way, and you can hear people like hushly talking, and you hear someone say, "Yes, my poor Barkley, he had just stopped moving the other night, and then he stood there, and I went to check on him, and he just fell over and he was dead." And the man's like, I'm so sorry, ma'am, for that to have happened. It's a real tragedy losing a pet like that. And then you're walking up a little further, and you hear another person. It was the weirdest thing. Yeah, he just stopped, and he made a growl, and then was just staring for probably 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm not, then he went back to normal. It was the strangest thing.
So
You hear, essentially, that seems to be a repeating.
So animals apparently are acting up in a particular direction.
No, the animals are dying.
One person you hear the animal.
Their animal
did
got
die,
freaking murdered.
but the other one, the
Apparently, it
animal
was
made a
on
noise
leash,
and then just stood there,
looking
almost
off.
frozen. Tried to jar him and didn't move. So appeared to have been
Whatever this thing
paralyzed.
is,
It apparently attracts the attention of animals.
not only attention to the animals, but also they're scared. So that means this thing is big.
Big and apparently has a presence that
Can
can
be
be
sensed.
sensed. Yes. Is there any other more gossip that we're hearing as we're passing through?
No, for the most part, that's you that seems to like almost repeat. A lot of people were, especially closer to Hughes's area. Like as you were leaving that area, you heard people talking about it. As you got closer towards LaPonte's place, you didn't really hear too much of it. But LaPonte's shop, as you could imagine, is closed at the time that you arrived there.
So
It's a rather nice jewelry shop. You see a lot of his glass cases and such.
Does he have any tellers?
There's no one. The
so he was the only.
door is locked.
I asked one of his neighbors, excuse me, would you happen to know of any other employees who manned LaPonte's jewelry?
No, it's just him. It's just Charles. It's a shame what happened to him. Really,
Yes,
he was a good man.
Good. From what I understood, he might have been a bit hard to understand by some people.
I don't know who would have said that, but they're trying to slander the name of a dead man.
Was he
Yes,
aggressive
it's-
towards people under him?
No, Charles was a wonderful man.
All right, and